Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie Violet Vixen Commissaro, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host Jessie.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're excited to have you.
Tonight, we're joined by a powerhouse vocalist, a fearless performer, and an artist whose voice is as bold as her journey. From pouring her soul into every lyric to commanding the stage with raw energy, Kelsey Lynn's music is a reflection of strength, vulnerability, and heart. We will talk about her roots, her rise, and stories behind her songs. And if that wasn't enough, we also have her content creating daughter, Jasmine Lynn, here also in studio. Please give a warm welcome to Kelsey Lynn and Jasmine Lynn.
Hey.
Hi guys, welcome. How are you guys
doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Did you guys have a great Easter?
Yeah.
Yep, we sure did. We sure did. Absolutely.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit first, Jasmine. When did you realize that you wanted to be a content creator? And what inspired you to get started?
My mom usually inspired me, but I was like 4 or 5 when I started making videos. My first video was when I was at least like 4 and a half.
Yeah,
What,
somewhere
5?
around there. Yep.
Close enough.
Yep.
What was it like growing up with a mom in the music industry? And how has that kind of influenced your creative journey?
I don't know how to respond to this one. It was kind of weird growing up because like everywhere in public somebody would usually say, "Hey, I know you."
Wow.
How did it
It was
influence?
pretty awesome, though. I mean, you got to admit, that's pretty cool that everybody knows your mom.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's
You
funny.
just-
My son would say the same thing. He's like, you always get stopped. Everybody's always going on about your hair.
Right.
oh my god.
Yeah.
My mom will be stopped in a grocery store or somewhere random and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I love your hair."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, purple's not like a normal hair color you see every day. So yeah.
I mean, like nobody was born with purple hair.
That'd be cool though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very welcoming too. Like I've had so many different colors through the years, and like people just feel like kind of comfortable with purple. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because purple's fun. Purple, if you have purple, they know you're a fun person.
For sure.
Like this is the first time I've ever had my whole head dyed. I mean, I've had my ends dyed purple before, but like this is like the first time I've had my whole head dyed.
Looks good.
have you got stopped yet?
No, not yet. I've got stopped a couple times in school, but
Yeah.
Hey, hey, that's a big accomplishment nowadays because the kids at school, like, there's always someone trying to up the next person.
oh yeah, for sure.
So, what kind of content are you creating right now?
Every kind, basically.
Yep. Your
Look,
baseball journey.
I do like traveling too. I do like a bunch of stuff. Like I'll do like trying new foods, like texture things, and I'll do a bunch of random things.
Yeah.
I'll do even carving pumpkins or like painting or something.
For sure. For sure. You're very creative.
Or decorating a Christmas tree.
Absolutely.
It's fun
love
stuff.
What would you say is your favorite video that you've created so far?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see, I have a lot. Probably the brownie making one.
The what?
The brownie making one.
Brownie making one?
That was really fun. Or that one where like I threw it up in the air and I caught it and there was nothing in it.
Yeah.
And I was reading the ingredients upside down.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Jasmine's quite the cook.
Hey, I give her a lot of credit because I know, like, I get really tired with content creating, and for her to be at it so young, like,
I
power to
know.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome, and I try to make it to where she's just living her life and doing what she loves, and then, either her dad or I will, just film for her, cuz I don't want her to be like me and sometimes get burnt out and like making it
Yeah.
a point to make content. I just really want her to just like live her life, and then I'll film as we go.
It's for fun, it's not make it a job. You wanna be able to enjoy
Absolutely.
it.
We'll
Yeah.
film. Like, we'll film me, like, basically, like, doing whatever. Like, if I'm at the beach some random day,
Mhm.
and I'll be like, let's do a video.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just record what I'm doing that whole day.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, what's one thing that you guys admire about each other?
Oh man, my list is extremely long. You want to go first?
No, you get to go first. I've been answering these last few questions first.
What I admire about Jasmine is the fact that she just so very much lives in the moment. She has this like, I don't know, she just has this thing about her.
Like a
And I
spark.
yeah, a spark you could call it, but it's just this thing. I don't know how to describe it. She just has this light that like really just, I don't know, I feel like moves people, like the people who are
Mhm.
closest to her, and then, some of her friends at school, even like she's the friend that I needed when I was growing up,
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
but I also really admire the fact that, when she puts her mind to something, like she's really, really bound and determined to like make sure
Mhm.
it happens and do it to the best of her ability. Even after she gets frustrated, she'll have her little breakdown real quick, like all of us girls do, but she always picks herself back up and she just keeps going. So that's two of many, many things that I admire about her.
Um, the thing that I admire about my mom is probably that she doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care what people think of her.
That's true.
Like, she'll go out in public with like no brushed hair. She'll just like throw on a t-shirt and some like sweatpants, and she'll like, I'm presentable. Let's just go to the store. I don't really care.
Well, you can't care.
Most of us do that. I have a joke
Yeah.
that like when I'm going out, I'm done up. But when I'm at home, I usually look homeless.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's the opposite for her. Like one day, like she'll come downstairs all cutesy tootsy when we're not even going anywhere,
Yeah.
and like then like when we go out, she's like, "Oof, I used all my cutesy tootsy clothes. I don't even care if I didn't. I'll just put on this."
The older you get, the more tired you get.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, the less you care.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
get to sleep at 7:40 in the morning because it takes me like almost an hour to get ready for school. When it literally seems like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like all you gotta do is brush your teeth, eat breakfast, put on your shoes, and get dressed,
Yeah.
and brush your hair. That's it.
Absolutely.
I need to have her like get in touch with my son because I have to like literally like he waits till the last minute. He's like real quick, like doing everything, running out the door.
Oh yeah, her brother's like that.
Oh, she has to try to drag me out of bed. She's like I'll just be like 5 more minutes, and she'll be like, "No, it's 7. It's like 7:50. You gotta wake up."
Yep. Yep.
Like today, this morning, I didn't even get up. I got up once.
Yeah.
Once I stayed on my couch all that morning,
Busy day. Busy day yesterday.
and I was basically being very stubborn this morning because I did not want to wake up.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your favorite Easter candy? Because I was reading this whole thing today that there's like a whole feud on what
There's
is
a hierarchy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You cannot ask me that. There's too many to count. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But like, if my favorite Chocolate is probably Reese's.
Reese's?
Yeah, it's my favorite chocolate.
Reese's.
Now, are you a big fan of the eggs, or can it be any Reese? Because my mom and my son are like all about the egg shaped Reese. They swear it tastes better.
It tastes the same. Like but I think the Christmas trees taste the best.
The Christmas trees?
Yeah, because I feel like they put like little bits of like rainbow sprinkles on them.
Yeah.
It tastes good.
Yum.
Like it tastes very
Yeah,
sugary.
Reese really have been stepping up their game. We found one the other day that was actually a peanut butter and jelly Reese.
I had it. I had it.
We've
It was-
seen
Yeah,
those.
Jax gave it a pretty high rating.
Yeah, we've seen those.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the one that had the potato chips.
Ooh,
I've never
sweet,
tried those.
salty.
I've never tried those. I've tried the ones that are glazed in with caramel and then that have like the sea salt on top of them.
There's a new video
Those
idea.
sound good.
Trying different Reese's.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys say is one of your favorite memories together that always makes you laugh?
Disney.
Yeah, is probably one of our best memories.
That was one of our best memories together, but
Yeah, her and I had taken a trip not this last January, but the January before. I took her down to Disney World, and it was just her and I for like 3 or 4 days down in Florida. And
yeah.
it was nice because we live in a house full of boys, dad and 3 brothers.
It
And
was just us two.
yep, so it was just us girls, and we got away and had some fun. And
Yay, this
I
sounds like a
yeah.
beautiful time.
Oh yeah,
Our first night there, we devoured almost a whole pizza.
yes we did. Yes we did.
Fun. It sounds like a fun time.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, what would you say is your like go-to activity when you're not traveling or doing the music thing, or
Me or her?
both of you?
Okay, you can go first.
I like drawing and sketching, and sometimes I like going outside and like playing on my screen.
Yep. Yep. I'd say for me, just doing absolutely nothing. Sitting on my back deck, just listening to the birds and watching my kids play and hanging out with my dogs and just really just having downtime. That's my favorite. Yep.
Now, do you feel your creativity has brought your family closer together? And with her doing, this is more for you, Kelsey. Do you feel with her doing the content creating that it's kind of giving you guys something that you guys can kind of share together?
Yeah, I think once Jasmine, because at first it just started off like, Mom, I want to create videos. I want to be a YouTuber. But I think once, my kids started playing instruments, because one of her brothers also, he plays the guitar and she plays the drums. So I think music has definitely like gave us something that is outside of the family dynamic that, like we all have this, I guess, passion for music. That's really kind of, gave us something to share together.
Camera's going.
So, I think overall, we all kind of like, in a way, have the same goals in a sense. So, yeah.
It's a shared passion.
Yeah, music for sure. For sure.
Was it fun being in mommy's video?
Were you scared
I don't know.
when you were in the Heartless video? Were you scared? Were you nervous?
But I just hate how like everybody is like, "Oh my god, you did so good! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" It's like that video was 2 years ago. You should already be over that.
Jasmine is working on being able to take compliments.
I can take
It's hard. I'm
something.
still working on it.
Yeah, she's very humble. So, when somebody tells her like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful," or "Oh my gosh, you're so talented," I think
Um,
she's kind of like she doesn't know how to take it,
Yeah.
It's like I'll be like, "Thank you," like if it's a stranger, but it's like my family tells me it so many times. It's like you told me this 5
Well,
times,
we
and I'm
love
just like,
you.
That's the best thing, though. That is the best thing, to have a supportive family
Yeah,
that thinks that you're awesome.
huge, huge girl.
it's like one morning my mom will be like, "I love you," and I'll be like, "I love you too," and then she'll say it again and again and again and again and again. Like she'll say it over 10 times.
Good. We
I'll
love
be like, "I
that.
said I love you."
So do you guys give each other feedback on things? Like, has she ever, like, told you, like, something about a song?
She'll tell me if she doesn't like it, she'll be like, "This is not good." And I really respect that about her, because it's like you got to keep it real with the people that you love. You should keep it real with everybody, but
Yeah.
if you really care about somebody, like you're going to give them your honest opinion and also tell them how you can make it better. So, Jasmine will definitely let me know if she's not a fan of something. And I mean, obviously being your mom, I'm the same way. I'll be like, "Well, maybe you should try it this way,"
Yeah.
and while also like trying to, I don't know, I guess have her keep that creative control. Trying to find that fine line of like giving advice, but also letting her do her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what is one thing that you've learned about yourself through the other?
Oh, Jasmine really made me realize a lot of things about myself. I had her brother when I was 17.
Mhm.
And, although me and him have our own special relationship, like he's a boy. And I feel like after I had a girl, my perspective on what it meant to be a woman really changed, and what kind of woman I truly wanted to be. Um, because my son always like has looked up to his dad in many ways and rightfully so, because his dad's a really good man. But I think after having her, I was just like and seeing how she is, like sometimes her spiciness pops right out and I'm like, "Oh, that was that's me." But I love that about you, that you're very just you. So, I guess what I've discovered like through you is you know, just really reevaluating what kind of woman I am and where I want to go in life. So, what have you realized through me?
I don't know.
Not to be a helicopter parent.
Not to be so overprotective over my kids.
Hey,
I'm probably
in
not
in
but
in our defense, Jasmine, when you've lived through something and you've had to struggle, like, your mom doesn't want you to have to struggle for
Mhm.
anything. She wants you to literally live the best life ever. So, as
Absolutely.
I know
helicopter moms, it happens because we just want the best for you.
it's just that like sometimes like I'll climb a tree and she'll be like, "Don't go any higher,"
It's a mom thing. I
and
don't know what to tell you.
and I'll and
I
I'll
do the
be
same thing. My son will wanna go on rides, and I'm, like, standing there, like I'm like, "Oh my god, I saw this on YouTube, and it didn't end well." Oh,
Right. Right.
like, I can't even watch when he goes on, like, things at Dorney Park or, like, Six Flags. Like, I have to look away.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, the one roller coaster, he's got his arms up. I'm literally coming out of the seat. I'm, like, got my feet, like, gripping the bottom so that I don't fly out. And I'm like, put your arms down. Hold on. Just hold on. And he's like, why is it being a chicken? As we go over the edge. And I'm like, literally can't breathe. And he's like, isn't this great with his hands in there? I'm like, yeah, these pictures are going to turn out great. I'm going to look like terrified.
They just know how to live in the moment, you know? No fear. No fear.
So, can we get into mom's music a little bit? Because I just think you are absolutely amazing. And I know I have dealt with quite a few people in my life that have had some struggles. And sometimes it's really hard to like put it into words to explain to someone what you're going through. And with numerous songs that you have, you find the words and your
Yeah.
lyrics. Some of the things I can't even say normally, let alone rap and like put it uh, uh, just insane. So let's start with the first song that you ever wrote yourself.
Oh. I was well, the first song I ever wrote, I was probably like her age, but the
Oh,
one
wow.
that I, like actually wrote and recorded, um, I was like 16, and it was a song about my uncle who had just died.
Mhm.
Um, him and or well, me and my cousin basically wrote a tribute song to him. Um, and I don't know, I was, like, really out of my comfort zone, I guess, because, like, I hadn't really recorded, like, at all ever at that
Mhm.
point, so it was really weird, like, recording something that I had wrote, you know? So, yeah. Go
So,
ahead.
who were some of your musical influences growing up?
I had quite a bit. Um, I really liked, Lauryn Hill, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey. I listened to every 80s hair band you could think of. I really liked, a lot of the 80s hip hop too, I listened to. Like my mom was big on hip hop. Um, so I've had a lot of musical influences, to be quite honest.
Now, how would you describe your music to someone that hasn't heard it?
How would what? I'm sorry.
How would you describe your music to someone that hasn't heard it?
Um, when people ask me, what kind of music do you make? I just tell them I make everything. I make
Mhm.
rap, I've made rock songs, I've even went as far as making EDM songs.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so I'm like just go through the catalog, pick which ones you like, but I do make it a point to tell people like my music's real.
Mhm.
Everything I sing or that I rap, I write myself, and I don't know, I've just been through some real life stuff, so I'm just telling my stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel like I've created kind of like my own lane, my own sound.
Relatable rap.
Relatable rap. Yep.
It's important. Like, Allie has just been she was saying all, like, all week really that she was like, "This is something that has, like this interview is gonna have a lot of personal meaning towards me because I've been through a lot of these things in these songs." So, I was like, "That's so important." That
Yeah,
somebody a voice for people who necessarily don't have the words.
absolutely. And there was a couple times where I was just gonna quit doing music altogether. Like I wasn't gonna like just stop making music, but I was gonna quit trying to make it into like a career, I guess. I was just
Yeah.
gonna record and keep it for me. Um, but then I'd drop a song and people would message me and they would tell me all kinds of crazy things that they've been through. And I just kind of feel like, I'm not super religious anything, but I do believe in God. So, I'm like, obviously God gave me this life, gave me this talent that I have for a reason. And I believe that we're all created to contribute, you know what I mean? To make this world a better place with whatever we're given, whatever we're good at, and, use our story to help empower other people. So I just kept dropping songs and I was like, man, I can't give up. I
Mhm.
can't give up. Too many people need to hear this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say it. They're really, I think sometimes there's really a lack in real role models. And when I
Yeah.
say real role models, like some of the role models that are online, they're not realistic. They're
Yeah.
not showing their flaws.
Yeah.
They're not real. So that's one of the things I really appreciate about you is that you are that real role model. Like you give little girls like that someone to look up to.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel like, especially when it comes to women, I feel like we're already pressured enough. You know what I mean? Like, literally in every aspect of our lives. And, that's not to say that men don't have their own struggles, because they do. But I feel like, just being a woman in this world, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of pressure. And, I was kind of raised in like my stepdad specifically, like women are meant to be seen, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Not heard.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like women should embrace every side of themselves, the good, bad, ugly, because after all, like that's what makes us us. So,
Now, was it really scary when you first started really getting into like the personal, raw lyrics and like about your life? Because you are very open with your fans.
yeah. Um I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had my questioning, like the questioning of myself, like should I say these things? Like should I show people this side of me? Because for a long time I was making party music, things that people could play at parties and get drunk to. So I was like, I don't know if I should be this vulnerable, but
Mhm.
I think really what did me in was after dealing like with my mom's addiction and taking care of her, I just had one of them days where I was like just really pouring my heart out onto the mic, and I was like, "You know what? I'm putting this out and I'm going to see what it does." And I'm glad I did, because ever since that one song, I haven't had really any issues with putting all my business out there.
Now,
So,
what song was that?
it was How Do You Sleep? And it's wild because it just recently, like within the last year, started getting a lot of attention. But that song's like 5, 6 years old.
You
Mhm.
know what? It's wild because that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And when I hear it, like I relate it to someone that I dated that I love that suffered from addiction. And it's relatable, but from listening to it so many times, And the one part you do say, all my life. So I was actually curious if that was about a family member because
Oh,
even
yeah.
though what it is to me, like I was curious.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wrote it specifically about my mom, but I mean, my dad is struggling too, to be quite
Mhm.
honest. And I know after I had that song had started getting attention, there were a lot of people in their feelings about it, because they're like, you can't get mad at the addict because this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I understand I understand addiction now. Then I I didn't, and I was writing it from a kid's perspective. I mean, when you're
Yeah.
trying to break these things down to a child, they can't understand stuff like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They just understand like my parents aren't there for me.
Yeah.
They're off doing something better and I'm
Mhm.
not enough. So when I wrote that song, it was kind of like from a child's perspective, I guess. So
I
yeah.
think that's very relatable. I think that a lot of kids felt like that, like, exactly the same way you did. I can definitely say, like, from a kid's perspective with, like, myself, I felt, like, so angry, you know?
Mhm. Yep, absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit about your writing process? Because, like I was saying earlier, your lyrics are like insane. And like, I mean, we were joking earlier because I have like an issue with saying like different words and I always say things wrong and whatever. And in the one song, you do this like long, I mean, it's a pretty long verse, and you have reciprocal. Like, man, I
Reciprocal.
can't even like say it, and you like spit it out like smoothly. Do you
Yeah.
use a rhyming dictionary? Do you just go like, is that just in your head? Where is that coming from?
So I've always been like a writer. For as
Mhm.
long as I can remember, I've just really loved to write poems, write stories, just write, 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 write. And um, I guess like my writing process really is I try to write when I have like the highest emotions. Shout out to mental health. Like I will have days where, I'm just like I'm really in my feelings and it just kind of just spills out. I don't even know where it comes from. But once I'm done writing the song, I'm not going to lie, like when I go to sit down to record it, I'm better on the mic when I'm rapping fast. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like it just spills out and I don't really think of it. But like if I try to force something, it's not good. So sometimes I have to walk away from the mic. Like if I'm getting tongue tied because I'm all caught up in what the next line is going to be for my punch in, I'll walk away. I'll take a break and then I'll come back and do it again. But I know not just myself, but a lot of rappers, like if they get stuck on a line, like if they're not freestyling and they're stuck on a line, they'll say the same line like 500 times over and over and over to get it down.
Yeah, that's wild. Now, do you have to kind of prep yourself? Like, I would assume, like, I mean, even to hold your breath to get that out. I mean, is there prep into before a show?
So, yes. Yeah. Like I work out every day. I try to do cardio 3 times a week just to help keep myself able to do those things.
Mhm.
And I rehearse a lot. Like we have rehearsals this week for tour and we're starting months and months and months in advance, especially because of the fact that I have all this new music that's going to be dropping. I'm not used to performing those songs because I haven't performed them before. So during rehearsal, what I try to do is I try to learn where I'm running out of breath at,
Mhm.
so I know when to take my pauses and incorporate different things so that way the show goes as smoothly as possible.
Yeah, man. I mean, some of them, yeah, you're just going. And I'm like, man, I would need like water. I would need like a couple breaths in there.
Oh yeah. I honestly, one of the performers and artists that like really kind of fueled my fire with like wanting to get better and be better, especially as far as stage presence goes, is Snow the Product. After I had did those tour dates with her, I kind of came home and I was like, we need to rehearse more. We need to rehearse more. That way it sounds good and it doesn't sound like we're running out of breath. So, yeah.
So let's talk about the tour because that's coming up. When does that start?
Yes. So my first date is July 18th, and we're gonna kick it off right in my hometown of Lansing, Michigan.
Ooh.
They were actually the promoter there was the first ones to reach out to want to do this show. And so far, I mean, we only have 9 cities locked in, but usually how this goes is like the first 9 or 10 cities will get locked in, and then more people end up reaching out, and then it's like a domino effect. So,
Well,
but I'm
Philly
really
wants to.
excited.
I'm
I'm
excited
We want
excited.
you
for
in Philly.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what can fans anticipate from this tour other than new
Um,
music?
we're gonna be going to therapy. I feel like we're gonna be going from therapy to celebration and partying. um, I think that the fans can expect just to kind of really truly get to know me better. I know there's a lot of folks that have already seen me live. But I think this music that I'm putting out this year and from what has did well on social media, I think, once we combine all these songs and we put them into the tour, people are going to get a different side of me, a different experience with me. It's not going to be, Kelsey partying, getting turned up the whole entire time. Especially because like, you know, I'm not drinking. Last year when we were on tour, like, we were drinking every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a different vibe.
Now, do you feel that you're more critical of yourself without the drinking than with the drinking?
Nope, I think I am more confident. Yep. I think, being doing all of this and coming this far. I mean, I've been in this independent music grind for almost 10 years now, and Um, I don't know, I just wasn't a very good version of myself, and I was very critical of myself, probably because I felt like crap about myself because of the choices that I was making, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
knew I shouldn't have been drinking, and I was. So, yeah.
Yeah, but on the flip side, your music I know it's touched a lot of people. And just think about how many people, by you just speaking out about what you went through, I
Mhm.
mean, that's got to be amazing. Like, I can just imagine. I mean, even when you post something, like the comments underneath and like the love that's pouring out, I can only imagine one of your shows. Like, that would
Yeah.
definitely be one. Whoever's taking a live, like the people are singing louder than you.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for, I just want people to know that they're not alone in this, and it's easy to feel alone when you're going through, real life shit. Like, it's easy to feel alone. Like, you always feel like you're the only person who's dealing with it in that moment. So I just want people to know, like, not to be too hard on themselves and just know that we're all going through something, you know.
So new music dropping. Tell us all about it.
Oh man, so this Friday, myself, my producer Sham, and his brother who's also an artist, TJ Freak, we're going to be dropping a song called The Wait. This is honestly one of my favorite songs I think that I've worked on in a very long time. Sham and TJ are just really, really talented people. They're really great producers and engineers. So I'm really excited about that. Um, we were gonna put out an album on April 28th, and I think what is gonna happen is we're gonna end up doing physical copies only for right now and
Okay.
just dropping all the songs off the album as singles first. That way they get a chance to hit like curated playlists and stuff like that on
Yeah.
Spotify and then drop the album. So, yeah.
Are you gonna have like a schedule like every 6 weeks you're gonna kind of drop it, or are you gonna do more like when you feel like it?
I think every 2 weeks. Every week to every 2 weeks. We're just gonna be dropping back to back to back to back.
I love that. I'm totally here for that.
Yep. Yep. Trying to be consistent.
So tell us about the wait and what makes it so special.
Oh, just I when they sent this song to me, I was listening to it and it was like one of those songs because I can tell if I'm gonna like something, a beat, a song, whatever I'm working on within like the first 10 seconds of hearing it. Um, and when they sent it to me, I was like, wow. And apparently this song is also 4 years old and it's been sitting in their vault for quite some time. So I think what I like the most about this song though is just like the cadences and the production on it and just how upbeat it is. It's a love song, but it's really upbeat. So yeah.
Would you say that's the one that you're looking forward to playing on tour, or is there another one that you just love to play live?
I think the one that I'm gonna be looking forward to the most is This Is Life. Yep. Yeah.
That's a pretty intense one too.
Yeah. Yeah. And to think I wasn't gonna put that out either. It's crazy.
Wow.
I feel like that happens. I was just saying that about TikTok. Like, I'll do like a ridiculous TikTok where I'm like literally probably on the verge of a breakdown. And I'll like really go back and forth. Like, should I post it? Should I not post it? Like, and then I'll just be
Absolutely.
like, yeah, I'll just post it. I need content. And it ends up doing like way better than the other ones.
Isn't that
One
wild how
recently
that
got to
works?
like 27K. I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah. Yep. It's wild how that works. My one of my friends, he does like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Mhm.
He's videographer, he does it all. And he was saying that, you know, he was like when you don't want to do something is when you should really do it.
Yeah.
So I kind of been applying that to my music and my TikToks and the reels and all that stuff. So yeah.
so with the new music, with you dropping every 2 weeks, is there any plans for any music videos?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm supposed to be going down to Atlanta next month. I'm gonna be shooting a couple music videos down there because aside from my producer being down there, I have an OG artist on a very legendary song that I had just remixed. So
Wow. So I look forward to.
yeah, so him and I are gonna do a music video too. I kind of stopped like doing music videos for a while because everybody was like more into the reels.
Mhm.
And I felt like I was getting further with that. Um, but
I
I
need
told my
both
manager,
because you put your lyrics with it, and I need to like be able to visually see the lyrics, or I'm one of those people that I don't even mean to. I make up my own lyrics, and then I'll
yeah,
go to do a TikTok, and I definitely got it wrong.
it's okay. I do that too. So, But yeah, I enjoy like directing music videos and stuff like that. So
So
yeah.
out of yours, which would you say is your favorite video?
Um, I would say probably In My Zone and Heartless.
And my zone kind of like gives me like Dukes of Hazzard, like that sexy vibe.
Yeah, yep. Um, it's funny because my manager was saying, he was like, we should just have you just vibing alone in this music video. Like, there's no reason to, we were out in Vegas with a whole bunch of people, but he was like, there's no reason to have a bunch of people when you're in your zone and you're all alone right now. So yeah.
That's such a fun song. So are there any Easter eggs that fans can kind of go back and look for in any of your videos?
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness gracious.
Happens to
We've all
me
been there.
daily.
And I don't know why this
I
happened.
try to ride it out.
Goodness
Like
gracious.
it'll fall during a TikTok, and I'm just like, yeah, let me see what keep going.
Right. Like, ah. Okay, I'm sorry. What was your question?
Um, I don't even know where I left off.
It's okay.
Oh, are there any Easter eggs in any of your videos that fans can go back and look for?
What do you mean?
Like little things that happen that they might not know about just by watching the video, but behind the scenes, it was kind of like maybe not supposed to be in there, or maybe specifically put in there just as a little like extra.
I wouldn't say that necessarily. However, this year we are going to be doing like bloopers on my subscriptions on Facebook so people can see like all the wild, crazy stuff that goes on with, everything we do. And I'll probably end up uploading from the last tour too, because we have a lot of behind the scenes footage from tour as well. Um, but I do have a music video that's just basically all behind the scenes stuff, and that's my life. So it just kind of shows like just the silly stuff that we've put on my phone.
That's fun. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what made you decide for this tour? This is life. Like, what made you decide this is the song that we're gonna kind of run the tour around?
The reason why I chose that is because I posted a reel of it, well, a TikTok of it, um, and it went crazy. And it went absolutely crazy. Comments started coming in, the reshares, the sound's been used like thousands of times. And then we went ahead and we put it on Facebook
Mhm.
and did the same exact thing. So, I was like, this is just one of them ones. You have songs that move people, but then you have songs that like really change people's lives, and people were just telling me how much that song meant to them and how they listen to it every single day and how it's getting them through their life right now. And I've been told that about other songs of mine, but like the capacity at which this song has,
Mhm.
I don't know, just really reached people and kind of has been shaping the direction that their life is going. I was like, this would be the perfect song to base this tour around, just because I've also came so far and I've made it through a lot of stuff that statistically I wasn't supposed to.
Mhm.
Um so, I think that's kind of why I picked it, is just because it really means a lot.
Now, do you have certain friend bands, artists that you're bringing with you on the tour, or will
So
you
we
kind of
are
pick up some locals at each?
So we are talking about bringing another like headliner with me. Um and it might even be a different bigger artist like for each region. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like one that's for the Midwest and one that's for the South and the West Coast and East Coast. Um and I like having a couple openers. I don't like having shows where there's like 15, 20 openers, before I go on. But I told my manager, I said, reach out to these promoters and let them know, like, if people want an opportunity to perform, like, we're open to it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, out of the shows that you've done, who are a couple of the people that have opened for you or that you've toured with that kind of stand out and were like someone that viewers should check out?
Um, well, Snow the Product, that was like the first person that I had ever like did any tour dates with, and she's amazing. But I will say, check out Shamu the Panda. He is my producer, but he's produced for a lot of big names, and he is just one of those guys that like kind of stays in the background, but he also puts out music. So
Yeah.
really, really talented. King ISO of Strange Music, Jamie Madrox of Twisted. He's extremely talented as well.
What was his name?
Jamie Madrox of Twisted.
Actually, I'm wearing their shirt right now.
Yes,
That's
you
the
are.
crazy part.
Cool.
And King ISO. Yep. Yep. All really,
Amazing.
really solid people too.
So, since you're bringing up some people around, do you think you'll ever make it to the gathering or any of the?
Well, I might never make it to the gathering because I found out not that long ago that like ICP and Twisted don't get along anymore.
Oh, no.
I
I heard
don't know
that
what
also.
happened there.
Yeah.
I don't ask questions. But you know, and to be quite honest, I don't think that my music, cuz as much as like, I respect ICP's grind and, everything that they've built, I don't think my music like really coincides with something that would be at the gathering, cuz I just do so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, do you kind of prefer to do like the festivals or do you like those personal, like DIY, like smaller venues?
I like both. I like both. The reason why I like the smaller venues and like the little hole in the walls and stuff like that is because those shows are very intimate and you get to know those fans on a very personal level. But, like the mud parks that I do, the music festivals that I do, I like those because you can really feel the crowd energy and I feed off of that huge. So it's really cool to see just like a big group of people partying to your music.
Well, I told you that I would try really hard to keep it under an hour because literally I could sit here with you all night and just take your brain about every little thing because you are so fascinating. And for anybody who is not following Kelsey Lynn and Miss Jasmine Lynn in the background,
She's
please make sure. Is Jasmine just on Facebook?
Jasmine also has Instagram as well. Yep, and YouTube.
And I'm starting at 6.
Yeah. She's gonna be starting a TikTok here pretty soon too.
And please, for all of our listeners, please go on and pre save The Wait.
Yeah.
And it drops Friday.
Yep, drops Friday.
Do you know what time on Friday?
It'll be 12 a.m. Friday morning.
There you go.
Yep.
And you know the drill, everybody. You gotta leave comments under the song for the algorithm.
Yeah.
So Kelsey loves those purple hearts. So let's get
Yes.
them flowing. Thank you both so much for taking the time to come on. And we'll have to have you guys back after you do your tour and get some of the new music out. We'll have to have you back on to see how it all went.
For sure, for sure. I'd love that.
And thank you so much, Kelsey, for just being a role model and seriously for being so open about your story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us on here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
For sure.
You're welcome.
Bye.
They have so many things going on for them.
I know. It's really exciting, though.
And we
I
have
mean,
I was gonna say, and we have so many things going on for us, Allie, if you wanna talk about all the things we got going on.
so one of the things is we are very close to our 100th episode.
Mhm.
We have so
Isn't
much
that
going on.
crazy? Since when we started, we're nearing our 100th episode. So, like,
Yeah, it's wild to think back at all the guests. And honestly, it's pretty cool that like they've all been awesome.
I know.
I mean,
We've
I've
really
got
had no dubs, like, anyone we're like or anything we've had to scrap, like, I wanna be transparent, we haven't had a single guest that we've had on that we've had to be like, "We can't release that, it didn't go well," or anything, like, every single person who's come on has come on and been incredible. So,
yeah,
I
it
think
really like restored just so much like faith in like people and music and everything. And honestly, I love hearing the stories and just connecting with the
Mhm.
bands. And it's really cool, like, especially since we're in media. Like,
Yeah.
you would think that most people would be like, oh, like, I'm going to be very, very careful with what I say to you.
Yeah.
Like, I've honestly found that it's been different with us. I
Mhm.
mean, it's really and it means a lot to me that I have people come up and tell me about huge life events that are happening that they haven't announced yet, and the
Yeah.
fact that they would even, like, trust me with their secret before it's, like, announced, it's
It's
pretty cool.
awesome. It's seriously awesome.
So, we've got that coming up, we've got tons of shows,
Mhm.
and honestly, you never know what we might pull out for the 100th episode. Like, I mean,
The the only way you're gonna find out is to stay updated and to follow our Instagram, our Facebook, and, especially follow us on A Pretty Little Podcast.
and make sure you like the videos.
Yes,
Like, I'm
please.
noticing a lot of people are, like, skipping on the likes, but they're
Mhm.
writing comments and whatever else. Make sure you like it. Keep it with the algorithm.
Seriously, seriously.
Well, it's always a blast seeing you, Jesse. Love you bunches. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and see you next week on a Pretty
See
Little
ya.
Podcast.